Welcome into the Ultimate Dallas Sports Show. It was a Friday news dump kind of morning for CBS Sports. Tony Romo placed on leave by the network about an hour and a half ago now, maybe almost 2 hours ago this news came down. And J.J. Watt will take over for Romo in the color analyst chair alongside Jim Nantz for... We'll see how long. It's an indeterminate amount of time. It's possible that Romo slides back in that chair, I don't know, week 2, week 9. We'll see. But at least for the time being, Tony Romo, in the aftermath of his OWI in Wisconsin, will not be in his role with CBS Sports for, again, an indeterminate amount of time. Not a great Friday for Tony Romo, not a great week and a half for the former Cowboys quarterback. No. Michelle Montaigne joining us from California, PLG across the desk from me, Director Kelly around the half wall.
Hello.
Tough news for Romo, tough week for Romo. Listen,
that's what happens sometimes.
There's an element of this whole situation that, obviously isn't smart. You can't put yourself in that position, but you hope that one, nobody got hurt.
Yeah,
that's the best part. Learn from it, move on. That should be all that this needs to be. But he's dealing with the ramifications of it.
Whenever
right now.
This news dropped, that was the first thing kind of came to my mind was because it very quickly came out. The actual penalty, legally was not very vast. It was only like a fine. But that's where my brain went, was how is CBS Sports going to handle this news? And so, breaking this morning, they are putting him on leave for an undetermined amount of time, and we'll see when he comes back, if he comes back at all. Maybe there's a possibility that they just kind of dust their hands with it and say nothing, but I guess
they said until further notice, which does lead you to believe that, at some point he may have the opportunity to jump back into that chair and resume his duties, but there will probably be some element of, and we may never know this may be, this may remain just between Romo and his bosses at CBS, but there's probably some checklist. Hey, we need you to do
this
X, Y, Z, whatever, and pay your penance for this, and then be able to get back in that chair. What do you make of it, Michelle?
It's just, anytime a prominent public figure has or makes a mistake, it's just... it's highlighted, it's scrutinized. I know a lot of people have, done the same thing that Romo's done here. Hopefully they've learned from it. Hopefully he learns from it. Of course, now with, rides being more easily available, if you are drinking, it's just, I think the fact that you pointed out nobody got hurt, that's the biggest win in all of this. I think CBS probably acknowledged that just given his public profile, they had to do something. It's unfortunate. End of sentence. It's unfortunate that it's unfortunate that he's having. Well, I wouldn't say it's unfortunate he's having to deal with the consequences. Obviously, people have to deal with consequences from their actions. But I will be interested to see how J.J. Watt does in that chair, especially because I do think, for as much as people like to hate on Tony Romo for as complimentary of Patrick Mahomes as he is, I think he does a really, really good job calling games. And so it'd be interesting to me to see how J.J. Watt
I've loved J.J. Watt. I've seen a couple of his games.
J.J. Watt has proven to be good early on in this role, but that is kind of the side plot to all of this. Sorry, go ahead, Kelly.
Oh, finish your thought, because then I was going to make a joke.
Oh, okay. The side plot to, because Romo, when he first sat in that chair, was brilliant.
Yeah, he's calling out plays, doing X, Y, and Z.
It was genuinely fun to watch Tony Romo alongside Nantz call out, not just predicting plays because he was so close to it, because he went straight from his playing career to the booth. There was no gap year in between. He was in the booth immediately. And so he was so tethered to the game. He was so in it. His knowledge of the game was at such a high level that he was basically just playing quarterback from the booth, reading the play the same way that Tom Brady was in the moment.
Yeah.
And, he's going to do this because that's what I would do.
Yeah.
And to watch
in
him
real time
call a 2-minute drill situation with an elite quarterback at the helm,
Yeah.
and him seeing the game through their eyes and analyzing what they are seeing in the moment and what they're looking for and that was
It kind of brings the viewer inside his
outstanding.
helmet.
Yes,
to a
it was
degree.
outstanding television. He has fallen off significantly
Since then.
since then. Those first 2 years or so were really, really good. He has not been as good since. The understanding I have is he hasn't been maybe quite as dedicated to it as he was on the front end. It shows. He still has the goods to be really, really good at it. Maybe this opportunity to be away from it for a minute will re-energize some of that hunger for him, and maybe he comes back better because of it, because what we were seeing in 2017, 2018, maybe a little bit of 2019, it just hadn't been that way the last couple of years, and he could use a little something. So maybe this is, I'm not going to call it a blessing in disguise, because the consequences over here way outweigh. Okay, so he becomes a better broadcaster. Like, that doesn't matter enough. It's important, but we're very different scales here. But maybe there is at least some positive to the back end of this beyond just whatever he learns from it from a human perspective. If the being away for a minute also kind of re-energizes his desire to be elite in that role again, that could be kind of a tertiary positive here.
Insert Kelly.
Can I make my joke now?
Sure.
Not to make light of the situation. So I'm not going to make fun of Tony Romo. I'm going to make fun of JJ Watt.
Okay.
You guys were saying that you were curious to see how he was going to be in the booth, but you forget that he has play-by-play and an analysis background from his hosting gig of Ultimate Tag.
Ultimate Tag, the short-lived reality sports game show from the summer of 2020 that he lasted
hosted
all of a month.
It lasted all of a month that he hosted with his brothers that my family loved.
This is a thing I was not aware existed until you told us about it about an hour ago. Had no idea that this was a thing.
My family was legit upset.
I'm learning as we speak.
My family was very upset when Ultimate Tag got canceled. It was a great show, and the brothers, TJ, JJ, and I can't remember the other brother's name right now off the top of my head. The three brothers, starts with a D. I know that.
Derek,
thank you. They
Good
would
poll, dude, because I could not. Wow.
Once you said D, I was like, oh, Derek.
They would do play-by-play.
I'm sitting
on
here
these,
going, okay, JJ, TJ,
What J? DJ.
It's
sorry,
not, I'm
there's
just saying,
there's
if you
two
want,
that matter.
If you want a fun little rabbit hole, go see if you can find Ultimate Tag, where before every round they would go, "It's time to play some tag," which is quoted to this day in our household.
It's time to play some tag.